Hello, everyone, and thank you, Sailesh, for inviting us to do this special update. We're thrilled by this wonderful opportunity. And as you mentioned, my name is Lisa Levinson. I'm the campaigns director for In Defense of Animals and also the co-founder of the Interfaith Vegan Coalition. And I'm here today with Judy Carmen, who is the author of Peace 12 Beings, Homo Ahimsa, and a co-founder of the Interfaith Vegan Coalition. So we're both really thrilled to be here. As Annie mentioned, I saw her earlier at a protest. We had actually a rally to free Billy because at In Defense of Animals, we just launched our 10 worst zoos list for elephants, which happens every year. And our #1 worst zoo was Los Angeles. And we have on our agenda to free Billy, who's been captive there for 34 years. And our theme this year was Bulls Behind Bars, and Billy's certainly one of those who we want to have more compassion for. So thank you, Annie. And we're delighted to be here to share what we've been up to behind the scenes with the Interfaith Vegan Coalition. We've had a very busy year, and one of the things we love doing is being part of the Vegan Convergence of the Peoples, thanks to Judy, who helps us to organize our opening and closing ceremony. So we have people who are part of our coalition, they are members, and they volunteer to give us some inspiration. Could be through a prayer or through an intention or a vision, meditation. There's lots of ways that we've been doing this for you. If you didn't notice, I just wanted to let you know that's what was going on. And so if you don't mind, I'll do a little presenting of my screen. I'm going to share a slideshow that shares a little bit about who we are for those people who don't know us, and also a bit about what we do and what we've been up to this year. So thank you very much. I'll go ahead and do that if that's okay with you. Wonderful. I'm going to put this into our slideshow mode. And then from here, we'd just like to give you a little tour of what we've been doing. This is a bit of a highlights tour. And so we've got one of the main things that we did this year was we went to the Parliament of the World's Religions. And this is an event that has 8,000 people who convene worldwide, and they join together to really look at all the different faiths and at what they've been doing, but also it's more about the world scene for religions. And it includes all different sorts of faiths, including many that are more conventional and others that are more progressive. So it was a wonderful opportunity, and we'll share a bit more about that with you as we keep going. Let's see here. Have to move this one. There you go. So about us, we have a foundation on animal ethics, and we find inner peace when we recognize that all life is sacred and practice compassion for all living beings. Animal liberation and world peace come from this deep spiritual practice. And here's a little picture of me with what is called a horny-toed lizard, and this is a baby one. But just having that awe and wonder for animals and nature is a big part of our coalition. We're a team of religious and spiritual vegans who are dedicated to bringing vegan values to people of faith, and we welcome activists of all faiths, just like you. We represent over 40, actually close to 50 organizations including our 4 allied groups and one affiliate, and we have a partner, the Animal Interfaith Alliance, which also has 17 organizations. So we are mighty. These are a few of the groups you may have heard of. Dharma Voices for Animals. There's also Creature Kind, the American Vegan Society. There's many, many groups. So our declaration is that the Interfaith Vegan Coalition declares that all life is sacred and interconnected. Our mission is to work with all faith and secular wisdom traditions to end human-caused violence, domination, and exploitation toward all beings. Finding that most traditions at their core encourage nonviolence, loving kindness, and harmlessness towards all life, the Interfaith Vegan Coalition assists these traditions to bring their ideals to fruition. This includes promoting vegan living, which makes it possible for all beings to thrive and be free. To do that, we've put together some faith-based vegan advocacy tools. We have brochures and religion-specific advocacy kits that are on our website. They are available for you to download. You can go to interfaithvegancoalition.org, or for a shortcut to get right to the kits, you can go to idausa.org/vegan kits. We've also partnered with Thomas Jackson, who is the producer director of A Prayer for Compassion. And it's a wonderful documentary. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And it is it kind of chronicles the development of the Interfaith Vegan Coalition, but also goes into exploring why the religions in the world are compassionate, but maybe not promoting vegan values. So it's also a nice way to introduce these topics to people of faith. And we have a religion and animals traveling exhibit that we help to schedule and arrange. The exhibit is curated by Dr. Lisa Kemmerer, and we were fortunate to bring this exhibit to the SoCal Veg Fest. We've brought it to the Parliament of the World Religions 2 times, and we've also brought it to the Unity Village, where we had a retreat. So it's been getting around, but if you're interested in having this exhibit come to your either local community center, place of faith, university, please get in touch with us. Let us know. You can reach us at interfaith@idausa.org. We also attend, as you can see here, online conferences and webinars, and we have retreats as well. So I wanted to share just a picture with you. This image shows the exhibit, and we have 2 versions. One is freestanding and one is that hangs on the wall, and here's one of them. And you can see that it talks about animals and world religions. That's also the title of a book by Dr. Lisa Kemmerer. And each 2 panels has a focus on a different tradition. So this one, I believe, has the Buddhist tradition and possibly the Jewish one in the image that you're seeing right now. But there are 10 of them. And so it covers Islam. It also covers the Taoist tradition and the Hindu tradition. So there's several different ones. And coming soon, there will be a goddess tradition.
And this was at the Unity retreat, that particular picture. And so we couldn't show all the walls. It took up a lot of the wall space. And but it was wonderful. People loved looking at them and studying them.
Yeah, people love them. In fact, they take pictures of them all the time to share with people who are in their friends and family, who they want to give them some information. And the panels, they actually have similar content to the guides. So they have stories and quotes, and they've got information about animal activism within each tradition. and they're full of information and plus images and artifacts. So you can get them in that form, or you can visit our uh, guide, the Vegan Advocacy Kits, and it's in that format as well. So here's a picture of part of what we're doing. This is a time where we were trying to promote the event that Judy was just mentioning at Unity Retreat. We did a vegan spirituality event there first in 2021, and then Reverend Carol Saunders has been doing these retreats every year since then. And this is one of the times that they were promoting the retreat at the Unity convention. And I think, Judy, you might have been there. Maybe you took this picture.
Yeah, I did take that picture, I'm pretty sure. That was
Yeah.
in Kansas City, because Unity is based in the Kansas City area, and they have a Unity convention there every year. So many of the ministers come there for this, and many of them, which is no surprise, are not vegan. So there we are. We're just showing them. We've got all kinds of information there for them. And we've talked to many of them. Some of them are open and some are not, but we've also discovered that some of them are vegan or at least have a vegan friendly church. So that's really good. It's been a really good way to connect with Unity ministers and then to promote Carol's retreat, which this usually happens in June, and then the retreat is in October. So we reach a lot of people that way.
And we invite all of you to join. It's a wonderful gathering of like-minded souls, and we're very welcome there at the Unity Retreat because the director of Worldwide Ministries, Shad Groverland, is vegan and is also on board with us trying to revive the vegan message within the Unity practice. So that is also very exciting.
Yeah, and the vegan message is really relevant to Unity and some of the other New Thought churches as well, because back at the turn of the other century, the early 1900s, vegetarianism was a big deal, and the Fillmores who founded Unity were pretty much vegan, pretty close to it. Of course, the word didn't exist then, but they were strict vegetarians. They even opened a vegetarian restaurant in Kansas City, where the Kansas City stockyards were, and a huge identity in Kansas City as big meat eaters. So it was a bold move on their part. And Unity remained vegetarian for many years until the original Fillmores passed away. And then that message kind of got lost. So we're Carol and Shad Groverland, like you said, are trying to revive that in the Unity Church, but you don't have to be a Unity church member or minister to attend the retreat. It's
Exactly.
open to everybody.
Yes, that's what. So we'd love it if some of you could join us there. There are wonderful speakers. We actually have, I think that Sailesh is going to be um, the keynote for the coming year. So that's super exciting. I think many of you might want to hear him there. And there are other people that participate in rituals. We actually did a special ritual that we designed and showcased at the Parliament of the World's Religions, also at the Unity. And I'm going to show you a video about that a little bit later. So
I think Sailesh, I think you've been at every one of them, haven't you?
Absolutely. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
And given great talks every time.
Thank you, Judy.
And here's actually, speaking of, here's one of the retreats at the end of, we did a Sunday service, and here was a group of people who were there at the very end to participate. There's Dr. Will Tuttle was there with Madeline. We also had Thomas Jackson and Reverend Sarah Reverend Carol over there. So it's a really wonderful group. You may recognize some of these people, but we'd love to see you there too. One thing that we do as part of our coalition is some many collaborative campaigns. And so we've worked with the PlantBased Treaty group, and our project with them was to stop animal gifting. We were fortunate to be able to reach out to Jane Goodall, and that we got a video testimonial from her against animal gifting, and we're still using this. We did that a year or so ago, and now we're going to be involved in an effort to do a webinar, this similar kind of format, but it will be through the Laudato Si group. So it's going out to Catholics, and it's looking at this practice of animal gifting, which is promoted in a lot of Catholic organizations and Christian organizations that are trying to do some fundraising. Oxfam, there's several others, and we're engaging with them and also with the Laudato Si community that is following the Pope and very closely. And so we're putting together a webinar, and that's one of the collaborative campaigns that we're doing. Then we are working closely with the
Are you there, Lisa?
We lost
sorry
this.
about that. I
Oh, there she is.
moved the slide back, and I must have muted myself accidentally.
Okay.
So the Episcopal Network for Animal Welfare is another one of our collaborative campaigns, and we are working with them to stop lobster boil fundraisers. It turned out that in the Episcopal Church, they were hosting these lobster boil fundraisers, and a couple of very progressive people in the clergy were interested in stopping this. So they founded this organization, and we've been partnering with them and putting together some advocacy materials about lobsters and reaching out to churches. And we've so far been, what we're thinking is a little successful. We were able to get 3 of the 5 that we found to consider changing their fundraisers to no longer include lobster boils, which is great. And we're going to expand that further. We're also
it's a big deal too, because one of those fundraisers, generally they could raise $30,000 at one lobster boil fundraiser. So it's a pretty big deal to get them to consider doing something else that does not involve harm to animals or the earth for that matter. So yeah, so it was really exciting that they made that decision.
Yes. And so that is ongoing. And these are all things, if you're interested in joining our coalition, you can get involved in these things with us. This is what we do. We're also part of the National Coalition to End Wildlife Killing Contests. And thanks to Judy, we were able to put together a letter that was adapted and will be sent out to churches. Surprisingly, a lot of, or some of the wildlife killing contests are either hosted by churches or they benefit churches financially. This is another source of income where the participants pay money to join, and then some of them win actually cash prizes. So it is also has a business aspect to it, and we're working to change this. Some good news is that in New York, they just passed legislation this December to ban wildlife killing contests in the state. So that's really great news. So there's 8 or maybe 9 states now that have officially banned wildlife killing contests. And we also have been participating with All Creatures in putting together a list of vegan pastors and churches for people who might want to find a group where they feel comfortable to express their vegan values and also feel that they can move forward with their interfaith or their faith goals. So Judy's been a big part of that. Thank you, Judy.
Yeah, it's been really a fun project to do, and All Creatures has just been such a huge help. And so we, on our website, we have a link to their list, which is very comprehensive, and we're constantly trying to find new people who would like to be on those lists. So if you know any vegan pastors or vegan friendly churches, let us know, and we'll add them on if they want to be added. And then that way, people who might say live in a certain town in Florida and they're vegan and they're discouraged going to their own church can look and see, is there anybody near me that whose church I could go to?
So at the Parliament, what we did is we were campaigning there actually for animal ethics. And we went to the Parliament in 2018. That was in Toronto. That was the time that we actually came to the world and shared who we were as the Interfaith Vegan Coalition. We put together our logo. We did a wonderful booth in combination with Sailesh and a friend of his who was with Good Dot out of India. So we were able to give out vegan food samples, and we made a big splash that first time in 2018. And then this next Parliament where we attended was this past year in 2023. The parliaments are not every year. They happen every so often. So this time we put together our goals, and this is what they were. Our goals for the Parliament was they have something they call the 5 directives. And what we wanted to do is show them that animal ethics is the practical application of their 5 directives. So we put together a panel all about this and filmed it so that we could send it back to the trustees, the board of trustees. We're asking them to align their actions and their ideals to abolish animal exploitation. We would love it if they could set up an animal task force to address ethical issues. And we would like them to draft an animal declaration. We hope that they will offer vegan food at all Parliament events and add an animal ethics track to the Parliament programs. So they have empowering women track, and they might have an climate action track, and we would love them to have an animal ethics track. So to do this, we spent about a year putting together our efforts. We got a table there, and here's a little example of our advocacy materials that we had at the table so we could interact with people. There were about 8,000 people who attended in 2018, and in 2023, about 7,000. So it's a lot of people coming through and very interested and curious and learning more. And then for this past year, we just went all out. We decided we were going to put together 25 different vegan programs. And then we put together this handout that we gave to people so they would know how to access all of those vegan related events that we set up. So we had the exhibit that we talked about was on display. We did a talk about the exhibit with Dr. Lisa Kemmer, who was there. We showcased the film, A Prayer for Compassion. We also put together a couple of ceremonies that people were interested in attending these. And we had about maybe 25 people or so attend our ceremony, Fantasia, which was the first time we've ever done it. It was a ceremony on world peace and freedom for all. And we'll show you a little video that includes that. So it was just so many different topics, including a Christian and a pagan walk into an animal shelter, creative ideas for interspecies justice. We showcased the film The Land of Ahimsa, We also had engaging communities to inspire compassion for all. So these are all just a sampling for you to let you know that we were out in force at the Parliament, and it was a great opportunity to advocate for veganism with people who are interested in compassion. We even marched in the parade. So you'll see actually people who you may know from VCOP here. And this was a really fun way of showcasing the vegan message. So we had this wonderful banner, "Vegan is love, the future is vegan." And we traipsed all over Chicago in this march with this. And we also had a lobster costume and a little hat. And from there, we were able to raise awareness about our lobster boil fundraising campaign to stop those. And we had a sign, something like "Stop the Pot," which was about stopping these boiling of lobsters. So this is Tams Nicholson and Harrison who joined us. So that is a little bit about what we've been up to, and you are welcome to join our coalition. We have meetings once a month where we plan and talk about what we want to do together. And then we also have member meetings, and that's for organizations such as Jewish Veg, Green Islam, Christians for Animals. PETA Lambs joins us, and those quarterly meetings are opportunities to hear what our coalition members are doing and ways that we can support each other, and then to come up with projects that we do together. So that is, if you are part of an organization, you may want to join us as well. So there's a couple different ways to do that. So you can visit our website to see what some of the benefits are of being part of our group. So I'm going to stop this share at the moment, and then I'd like to actually share a couple of really quick videos. And if the tech angels are with us, we'll be able to do it. So just give me one little moment to set that up. Let's see. Sorry, that is Munchie. You might be hearing her in the background there. She's very talkative. We're going to start with this little video and see how this goes. And I will share the screen and then all right, so hopefully you can see this. I'm going to go ahead and get it to full screen. And I might have to put it down just for a second so I can start it and now get it to full screen. Wonderful. So, oops. So that is a little bit you got to see some of the images from that ceremony that we talked about. We called it Fantasia there, but it was in. If you're familiar with the Albert Schweitzer quote that says we would like to summarize it, it is to welcome all beings into our circle of compassion. So that's what we were doing there. We were enacting that and embodying that. We took people were in different groups. We divided people up. Some people worked on quotes. Other people created art masks of animals. And then we also had a music group that was working on creating the musical score for this ceremony that we did. So we took some time to work together, and then we actually performed the ceremony. And the ceremony was where people were, the human people were in a circle, and then the animal people were outside moving around. So you saw some of that. And then the animal people were welcomed into the human circle. So all beings were part of one circle. And then we sang, thanks to Sally Zito, who composed a wonderful song for us, using the words from Judy Carmen and Will Tuttle's Circle of Compassion, which is compassion encircles the earth for all beings everywhere. And Sally put it to a wonderful tune, and then we all sang that together. And it sounds very simple, but it was so moving for many of these people because these were not a vegan group. They were new to a lot of this, and some of them were tearful. They hadn't experienced anything like this, really getting to embody the animals. They all loved animals because that drew them to this particular presentation. But we had a woman who was Native American who talked about the owls, and she shared a wonderful impromptu speech about them, and it was really sweet. So we were able to do some non-traditional vegan advocacy there. And if you'd like, I can share maybe one more very quick video. And this one shows about the when we brought this exhibit, the Religion and Animals exhibit, to the SoCal Veg Fest. And just so you know, this is a very large Veg Fest. There are about like 20,000 people who attend it. And so we know that this was one of their popular it was a popular exhibit. It was really fun for people who were tired of walking around and looking at things. And they had a place where they could walk and learn about the vegan values from each tradition from their perspective. So if you bear with me one more time, I will make sure I've got this video here set up. And okay, hopefully that's working. I'm going to start to play it and then I'll enlarge it for everyone. Wonderful. So that's kind of fun to be able to show you these things. You can see us in action there, and people interacting with the the banners that we had up there. Those were the freestanding ones. Then we also have the ones that hang on the wall. So that's just some exciting, some visuals. You could see what we're doing behind the scenes. And then we thought maybe if you had any questions, we know that some other major things that we've been up to in the past year, we actually presented here during VCOP. We were able to do our very first sermon contest, which we had the ceremony for the winners here. I think that was not too long ago, maybe the last VCOP. And that was the winners of that were Dr. Will Tuttle, of course, well-deserved, and Timothy Verrett, who had passed away. And we had a very moving experience during the ceremony there with people who knew him, who joined and shared about their experiences with him. So this was, we appreciate being able to host some of our milestones here with the VCOP. And we also have every year our Homo Ahimsa Award, and that is after Judy's book. I don't know, Judy, if you want to take a moment and say about the Homo Ahimsa Award.
Sure, yeah. And we're getting ready to collect nominations for the next Homo Ahimsa Award, which will be presented at the next VCOP, if we get them all in time and everything. But please, yes, if you have someone you want to nominate, the idea behind it is to nominate someone who embodies ahimsa, non-harm, and of course veganism. And of course Sailesh and his granddaughter Kamaya won that award. Was that 2 years ago, I believe? And so yeah, so please feel free to let us know if you have someone in mind that you'd like to nominate for that award. And we'll be meeting in April to judge who's going to get it, which is extremely hard to do, and then have the ceremony at the April VCOP. So it's very, very exciting to have that. I think this will be our third, right? Our third one or fourth?
Fourth, no? Because I think you had Philip and Trix Wallen, and then Wayne Shung and Priya.
Oh, right. Yeah. So fourth. Yeah. This will be the fourth. Yes. So, and I believe that everyone that is listening in and who has given talks today qualifies. So trying to figure out who wins is very, very hard. But that's it's just a way, I think, to talk more about what our goals are and what it actually looks like to create a vegan world and what it looks like to embody that day after day as best we can. So that's what we're one of the things we're working on. I did want to mention that the ceremony that was done at the Parliament, the Fantasia, was also done again at the retreat in Kansas City. And it was also extremely moving. People were very moved by it. And Sally Zito was there to accompany us with beautiful music. So that was great.
Yes, definitely. And the document that I shared, usually it has some instructions in it. It looks like they didn't transfer over when I copied that document. So stay tuned. I'll add the instructions to the front of the document if they're not there. And then you'll be able to add those people that you might want to nominate. So I thought I'd also share one other thing with you to let everyone know, because everyone joining this wonderful VCOP is an activist of some sort, and we have our Activist Appreciation Month that goes on every February, and this is happening right now. So I'm going to just put the link in the chat box for it, And it's something that you're welcome to join in. We've got programs all month long and special blogs. Our theme this year is animal rescue. And I wanted to bring it up as part of this presentation because our very first event that we're offering is a meditation for world peace for people and animals, and that will be on February 1st. So I'll put the link here, and we're doing that because February 1st through 7th is World Interfaith Harmony Week. So if you'd like to join us for that, you're welcome to. And that coincides with our Activist Appreciation Month as well. So I'll put the information here about Activist Appreciation Month. And that way you can find out what we're doing and see if anything else interests you. And you can also get the information to register for that interfaith meditation.
And that is a pre-vegan group of people, a very large group, and they're not all vegan by any means. So it's really, really great that we can offer them programs that they will accept, which they have been doing. And we do that with several other events as well that are that attract a pre-vegan audience, such as the Golden Rule Day. And what's the one in January that takes place? The 7 days of rest. The 7 days of rest
and renewal.
So that's another thing that we do at IBC and encourage our members to do as well, so that we get that word out to as many people who are not yet vegan.
Yes. So that's part of what we do is join these already existing events so that we can do more vegan advocacy there. And I'll put the information I'm sharing now is the event that we're doing, but it's on the website of the World Interfaith Harmony Week. So you can register there or join through the Activist Appreciation Month page. So I'm wondering if maybe there are any questions that anyone has. We're happy to answer.
I had one question for you. There were several other people who were nominated last year for the Homo Ahimsa Award. Are they automatically, do those nominations carry over for the next year?
That's a very good question. When I went through the document to create this new one, I saw some excellent candidates.
Right.
I think we'll have to see if people want to add those other ones again. I know because people put their bio and some information. So in that way, I think what I originally did, for some reason it's coming up blank, but I think I put on there, here were some nominations from last year. I'll go ahead and do that on this document. I'll fix it and put in the instructions. And then here were some nominations of people who did not, win for the last year, that people can hear for them, or they can create a new one.
Right.
Yeah. Would you like to renominate this person or people? Because it doesn't have to be just one person.
Right.
It could be a couple, or like with Sailesh and Kamaya.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, good question. Thanks.
It looks like Watch Dominion has the hand raised.
Yes. Watch, go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Rao. And thanks, Lisa and Judy, for the presentation. I love IDF USA. It's a lot of information on that website, but boy, is that website complicated to navigate. It needs to be simplified. The navigation is really difficult, especially the advocacy kits. Sometimes I have referred the advocacy kits to different people, or sometimes when I'm on Clubhouse and I'm debating with certain religious people and I want to refer to them, it's very hard to navigate. So I wonder if there is an effort to organize that website in a user-friendly way, and also the searches. I don't think there is a search, or if there is a search, then it's not returning items. So that's my suggestion. And I know all of these things need work and people volunteering their time and effort to do that. So
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it is difficult to navigate, and there definitely are some glitches that we would love to work on. In Defense of Animals holds our website. I don't know if I'm saying that right technically, but they do so much wonderful work for us in terms of just other things and technical things. And so we haven't asked a whole lot of them as far as the website goes. But I know Lisa's wanting to do some more on it, and we've also noticed that some of the kits have some dead links in them, and we need to get those fixed too. So it's an ongoing thing for sure. And thanks for pointing that out, because yeah, we definitely are seeing that. And again, it is limitation of time and just human ability, but we're definitely working on it.
Yes, thank you, Judy, for sharing that. And I put in the chat box a vanity link, which is a direct link to those kits. So you can access it. I tested it out. It does work. And that's what we do in order for people to find things. We create these vanity links. But we are going to be adding the Interfaith Vegan Coalition to one of the main campaign pages, so people will be able to find it easier that way. And we're doing some updates on the IDA website and also for our Interfaith Vegan Coalition web pages. So hopefully it'll be looking a lot better in the next few months. So thank you for that great suggestion, Watch.